When Trump assumes president in January 2025, both broad adoption and relevance will be necessary for Bitcoin to soar to the moon. Regardless of politics, Donald Trump is undoubtedly a status seeker. He desires a legacy. The goal of other presidents was to dominate the globe in space, then in the military, and last in economics. Trump will utilize every resource at his disposal to ensure that Bitcoin soars to the moon because he wants to be regarded as the president who won the crypto race. Many of you believe that Bitcoin will never be relevant enough because the government will simply shut it down when it becomes too big. However, the majority of you are unaware of the nation with the largest Bitcoin holdings. Check out who is well ahead based on the most recent data. The USA has positioned itself to have the most Bitcoin. Given that they have always anticipated the rise of Bitcoin, they sought to stay ahead of the curve in order to maintain their position as the top superpower. The scarcity of Bitcoin and the excellent profits. Supply and demand is one thing that all of you on this channel are aware of. As investors, we put money into something we think will become more in demand because this could improve the value of our investment and make it more uncommon, which will generate a large profit for us. Real estate and stocks of reputable companies are therefore excellent investments because they will increase in value. There are 21 million Bitcoins in total that have ever been created. No, there will never be more. The maximum number of Bitcoin that can ever be produced, known as the hard cap, is 21 million BTC. This hard limit on total Bitcoin supply is a critical aspect of Bitcoin's monetary policy, which is intended to generate scarcity and prevent inflation. Satoshi Nakamoto included this limit in the Bitcoin source code, which is enforced by network nodes. The hard cap is attained by a process called halving, in which the reward for mining new blocks is cut in half every 4 years, steadily limiting the rate at which new Bitcoins are created until the hard cap or limit is reached. It is expected that the last Bitcoin will be mined by the year 2040, bringing the total supply to 21 million. So every 4 years, it becomes increasingly difficult to mine the remaining Bitcoin, resulting in fewer coins entering the market and an enormous rise in the price of Bitcoin. There are just 1,128,000 Bitcoins left to mine, which means that more than 94% of all BTC has already been spread out. Looking at the Bitcoin price forecast chart, we notice that it is both accurate and exciting. Using stock to income, stock to flow, and the power law, we can anticipate where the Bitcoin price might head. Some of those numbers are astronomical, which is thrilling, especially given how accurate this chart has proven for so long. These analytics alone make me a Bitcoin investor, but the fact that the Trump administration has already issued the bill for the Bitcoin Act leads me to believe that we are only scratching the surface of what Bitcoin is capable of. Trump Bitcoin Act to make Bitcoin worth $1 million. The Bitcoin Act of 2024 has already been introduced and will be carried forward quickly because Trump is utilizing every resource available right now. So here it is. Senator Lummis first proposed this in the Senate. So the short title is the Bitcoin Act of 2024. Now, on page 2 of the bill, you will see this. The U.S. government would buy and store large quantities of Bitcoin to strengthen the financial condition of the United States and hedge against economic uncertainty and monetary instability. So the U.S. government would essentially create a strategic Bitcoin reserve. So there would be a buying program, and here's how it would operate. So the government would acquire up to 200,000 Bitcoins per year for 5 years, for a total of 1 million Bitcoins. If the government began purchasing Bitcoin, the price would rise. Then we'd be discussing a far higher figure. I would estimate hundreds of billions of dollars, perhaps even $1 trillion. The Bitcoins acquired through the purchase scheme would be held for a minimum of 20 years. This indicates that the government will remove them from circulation. They'll just be sitting off to the side for the next 20 years. And this will lead Bitcoin's price to rise even further because there is now less supply, which implies more demand. The final reason Bitcoin is an interesting option is that, as Tom Lee points out, it might truly assist with the nation's debt situation. We currently have the largest national deficit in history, and they're promoting Bitcoin as a prospective Treasury reserve asset. and I believe this is fantastic. Bitcoin has been more scarce and difficult to mine since its halving in 2024, making it more valuable. So he anticipates it to be considerably more than $150,000 per coin by early next year. How to invest in Bitcoin safely? Bitcoin is still highly volatile. It can be up or down $10,000 per day. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general continue to carry significant risk, so be careful. The most essential thing you can do for yourself is to educate yourself. Watching videos like these, speaking with individuals you respect on the subject, reading books, and even seeking advice from professionals. How to invest in Bitcoin and purchase your first BTC? There are two choices to choose from. The first step will be to just acquire Bitcoin itself. The second option is to buy an ETF that follows Bitcoin. I think of these alternatives as being similar to buying real estate. You can either buy a physical house or invest in a rent to have exposure to real estate without physically owning it. So the first option is to purchase actual Bitcoin. Similar to real estate, you would own the physical thing, so you could transfer the Bitcoin from the exchange where you bought it. You might keep it in a cold storage wallet or put it somewhere secure. You might also use it to make purchases or to send to friends and family as a small gift. However, it is similar to tangible real estate in that it requires you to keep up with it. You must keep it working. So, with Bitcoin, you must ensure that it is secure and preserved and that you do not lose your password, among other things. And the greatest platforms to buy Bitcoin are two distinct methods, and that's either on Coinbase, the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the United States, or on River, which is a reliable option to acquire Bitcoin because they only offer Bitcoin, making it a little more secure. Now, the second approach to acquiring Bitcoin, and an excellent method to gain exposure or at least see what Bitcoin is doing, is to do so in a much hands-off manner by simply investing in the real ETF. If the price of Bitcoin rises, so will the ETF, allowing you to profit. Now, that has brought us to the end of this video. What are your thoughts about the video? Comment your thoughts. Let's meet again with another interesting video.